Oh, well, look what we have here. It's Global Strangeness Class Reunion. Is that what we're calling it? I don't know.
Yep. We got the band back together.
Yeah, got the band back together for this one because it's so crazy. But after all that time spent together, we finally have someone who has some good firsthand evidence of something that we talk about. So that's really totally exciting. I don't know. And all the time we were sending Scott out on missions and Jeremy refusing to go in the woods to find Bigfoot, we finally got something.
I picked a fucking tick off myself today. I don't even go in the woods. I'm good.
No.
How the hell do you get a tick and you don't go in the woods? Make zero sense.
In the Northeast, you can get them fucking anywhere.
They're terrible. That's probably the scariest thing we've ever talked about. That's Lyme disease. Yeah.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Those things are terrifying. So anyways, for anyone joining us tonight, we are talking about good old UFOs, otherwise known today with the trendy kids as UAPs. Why do you think they changed that name? Is it so that it's not associated with the kooks? Like they want to take it away from what, when you say UFO, people think of little green men and the whole 9 yards, or the weirdos with their, first-hand tales. And now the governments are coming forward and it's more serious than scientists. And so they just need a whole new word.
I think it's linguistic difference between object and phenomenon, right? So a phenomenon is more broad than object. So we could be talking about something that's not an object, or we could be talking about something that is an object. Whereas when we're just saying UFO, we're just talking about objects. I think that's really the genesis of the difference.
But so to me, that's confusing though, because wouldn't you want the definition to tighten up, not broaden out? Because then you just have millions of more sightings and information to sort through, right? Like phenomena, that could be anything, just, heat wavy looking thing, or,
Well, yeah, it's a good question, Debra. But what I can say in this particular case, that the imagery that I have to show tonight is not bullshit. It's actual real imagery. I have been in sole custody of the media. Nobody else has had this media in their hands. It's verifiable that it is pretty much unadulterated media. I did do some minor enhancements like zooming in, but in terms of the imagery, it's authentic.
That is so crazy.
There's no bullshit here. And I was very surprised. You're looking through tons and tons of images, still images, video images. Then all of a sudden, there's something there that doesn't make sense. And then I'm looking through all of these videos and images. And the more I looked, the weirder it got. It truly was strange. And I'm very excited to share with the band, the team here, what I managed to find.
Yeah, and as far as the name changing, the government changed it to UAP solely so that people they can try to say it's other countries and not anything else.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they can have more logical explanations included in this as well.
So the old, it's the Chinese. Like that old adage, or it's the Russians or whatever.
Well, just for anyone who doesn't know this new definition, UAP, it includes airborne objects that are not immediately identifiable, transmedium objects or devices, and submerged objects or devices that are not immediately identifiable and that display behavior or performance characteristics suggesting that the objects or devices may be related to objects or devices described in the other two definitions. So I found that interesting because you hear a lot about the UFOs coming out of, or UAPs coming out of the ocean or going into the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're sort of including that as a something to look at as connected as well. So,
well, they don't change speed either, right?
Sorry, Scott?
They're supposed to not change speed either when they exit or enter the water. It's been like the big story around it.
They don't. They just they fly into the water like at breakneck speeds. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting in a way, but I don't know. The government actually just released a I want to say it's an article maybe, but they released some kind of documentation recently about UAPs as well. Some UFO researchers I had on my show actually sent me it like a couple weeks after they were on. They're like, "Hey, they just announced what we were just talking about." I'm like, "About time." Like it's
Well, that's so funny. So
I,
you guys have the G2P, right? And that's like it's like a serious like government
right.
scientific. It's actually like they're taking it serious is basically what they're doing. You guys always kind of have Canada's actually got on board for the first time. And we have what's called the Sky Project because we really never took any of this serious at all until just within the last few years. They've actually formed, this, it's a website, whatever. They're doing data research and looking into stuff from a scientific point of view. Government officials are involved. So, and then they're going to be coordinating with the U.S. government about UFO sightings and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. I think everybody's coming to the table with. There's just so many now. And I think more and more, I don't want to say normal people, but a lot more sightings and believers are coming from people that are, do some research, come from an intellectual kind of point of view, and are still believing. So it's losing the stigma of, the wackies.
so basically what you're saying, Deborah, is the Canadian Prime Minister is like, these Americans are out in a boat. We need to be out in a boat there too.
We're trying to figure out who's out and about. We need to know who is that.
If you watch my YouTube video on this particular UAP, I do draw heavily on the Genesis 2 project. And there's a very specific reason I'll get into why I looked at Genesis 2. And I think for Jeremy, I also looked at the AARO office report that came out in February 2024. So I look at that as well in this analysis.
Sweet.
Did you send me the link to share? Did you send the link to the chat for me to bring it up? Or
if you wouldn't mind me just grabbing the share, because there's a lot of little things here.
Be my guest, man. Be my guest.
Yeah,
be my
I
guest.
appreciate it. So, let's get started. So, I got these files. From a trail camera. Are you guys familiar with the trail camera? It's used by hunters and whatnot to just watch trails, watch wilderness. Basically, you're watching.
Yeah. That's how they get all the Bigfoot Dogman photos.
Oh yeah, the skunk ape.
And the frog man.
The frog man.
Florida man.
Fucking God.
So, we've got this device looking for roof rats because a trapper was out there looking for these roof rats that were plaguing this house. And lo and behold, in the course of doing his job, he discovers that he's captured a UAP on video. And not only on video, but a bunch of stills as well. And the really interesting thing is this UAP was not there the day before. It was not there the day after. It was there one day. So in putting this assessment together, which of course you can find on YouTube, I looked at a variety of different sources of information. And what I did is I started with this thing that Jeremy referred to, and I'll go ahead and present that.
So first question, what's a roof rat? Is that an actual rat? Sorry.
Yeah, here in Florida, we're plagued with them. Basically, they run around the power lines like highways. And once they get on your roof, that you can't really stop them. They get into the house and they create a real serious mess for homeowners.
Oh, okay. I already learned something here.
Yeah, so it's a problem. So I want to just look quickly at this report. So you can find this report online. Are you able to see the report?
No, share your screen.
Here, I got it.
Oh, there we go.
So basically, this is from the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, and this is a report on the U.S. government, USG, involvement with UAPs. This came out in February 2024. So why did I look at that? There's some good reasons why I looked at that. One of them is that if I can find this image of Tampa Bay, I don't know if everyone's aware, Tampa Bay, on the one side of Tampa Bay, what do we have? We have Pinellas County. On the other side, we have Hillsborough County, where Tampa is. And a lot of people don't realize that we have an Air Force base in Tampa, and that Air Force base is called SOCOM. So the SOCOM is an important command center for the U.S. military. So when you're looking at this report on the U.S. government involvement in unidentified anomalous phenomenon, if you read it really carefully, what they say in here, and it's quite obvious, and I guess somebody, coming from our point of view, wouldn't find it that obvious, but other people may, and that is that their assessment is principally that a lot of the UAP reports are simply misidentified government projects. I mean, that in itself is really interesting, because the government, this is a government document, just came out and said, well, we know about UAPs because most of them are ours. That's work that we're doing, and the people that are reporting these, and it says right here in the report, a lot of people that are reporting these UAPs are unaware. They haven't been read in to these secret military and government projects. So I thought that was really interesting. So on the one hand, a UAP could be something that you would find in a military installation. Somebody is knocking at my door, and it's quite late here, and that's kind of weird that we're talking about this. So
get the zombie killer.
You're already disclosing
did you see
too
that?
much.
That was cool, right? So I don't know. I'm not going down there. Okay. So I thought that was really interesting. Here we have the government basically saying that, those UFOs are our secret technology. All right. So we've covered that. But there was another thing that Debra brought up, and that is an organization. They are not stopping. They are just pounding at my door. This is so weird.
It's your footage. They're after your secret footage there.
It's really weird. They want to know the footage. They're just going to have to wait because it's Sunday night, 9:30 in Pinellas County. Who's knocking at my door? I don't know. So the other area that I looked at is really very interesting. And that is, let me share this. There is a webpage, and Debra mentioned it earlier. And I think it's really, really important because it kind of gives us a sense that what we're looking at, what we're going to look at, is actually something that's already been identified by somebody else. So let's look at this. Jeremy, I'm sharing this webpage. Are you able to see it?
Oh yeah, I blew
See
it up.
something.
So this is G2P. Okay, this is the Genesis 2 project. And here we have evidence of unidentified aerial phenomenon that's been scientifically authenticated. So who are these guys? Well, basically, this is an offshoot of this report, and maybe, Jeremy, you referred to this one as well, from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. They released a report on possible threats posed by UFOs, now unidentified aerial phenomenon. And if you recall back, not too long ago, there was some really odd story about some balloons flying over Canada, flying over the United States, where the UAPs Were they Chinese balloons? I mean, the story was very odd, and it didn't really make a lot of sense. So I wonder if we weren't getting the full story about that particular situation. So these guys, G2P, they're pursuing these investigations of forensically, I want this to be pointed out, forensically validated UAP recordings. So we're looking at this, and I found this webpage. So I'm looking through these images, and you can see them. These are images that they have vetted. This organization says that these are actual bona fide unidentified aerial phenomena. They've looked at them. They can't identify what they are.
Chemtrails.
So, yeah. There's that one is kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can play this, Scott, so you can see what it is. There's something that blips through the chemtrail right there, and they say that is a UAP. I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm looking through here, and now bear in mind, guys, that this was all part of my research for my document that I put up on YouTube, and I found this. I found this image right here. This is really weird. Just look at this thing.
Is that one of those jetpack guys that have been seen flying over like LA and airports?
I know, it kind of looks like that because you have a leg structure underneath, a solid structure, and it almost looks like a head or something on the top. It's really strange. And this is I guess, another image of this object.
Can you zoom in on that one?
Let me see if I can, Scott. Yeah. You can see it right
there. Looks like something's coming out the bottom, huh?
Right. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, so we have two possibilities here. On the one hand, whatever was captured on this trail cam could be a government program related to whatever's happening at MacDill, which is right across from Tampa Bay from where this image was taken. On the other hand, if you look at this organization, they don't really say that these UAPs are related to government activities or programs. What they say is that these images are vetted and these are truly, for lack of a better word, these are UAPs. They believe that these are real. So
yeah, that's the problem, though, man. Like everything going on with what the government's saying is real, even with what happened yesterday. Like we are in the greatest damn TV show that was ever created. It's getting crazy.
Well, I mean, as South Park said, Scott, Earth's the reality show for extraterrestrials.
Yeah, might be a reality show for us.
So, you guys mind if I played a snippet from somebody's video on YouTube?
Yeah, go for it. You got the reins, dude.
This also, go ahead.
A lot of these YouTubers I actually have been finding out from putting our shows on podcast form on YouTube. A lot of these YouTubers actually give permission for their stuff to be shown on other podcasts.
Oh, okay, good. So what I wanted to show here, and this interests me because the guy speaking is a physicist, and he's going to be talking about his journey into believing that UAPs are actually a thing. And I think it's important because basically the conclusion he draws is, well, I didn't believe that they were such a thing until I started to be briefed about some of these governmental programs. So let's just take a look at this and see what he has to say.
Ways were you wrong? Why are you now convinced in a way that you weren't previously?
Well, I didn't know. Yeah, I'm not convinced that UFOs, like shiny metal craft, are real at all. What I didn't know is that there almost certainly are large programs inside the federal government that are denied, that are labeled UFO, don't tell anyone. Now, whether those programs contain anything about non-human intelligence or aliens or spacecraft or anything like that is anyone's guess, because I haven't seen anything. However, the programs almost certainly exist.
What gives you that impression?
Talking to 4 million people who tell stunningly similar stories. In other words, there is a weirdness. And the weirdness is tremendous circumstantial evidence that these programs have existed for a long time, and have involved extraordinary, in particular, physicists way back in the day. And on the other hand, that there's no credible proof that there are craft or aliens or anything like that.
How?
Okay, did you guys think that was interesting?
I mean, yeah, he obviously doesn't know enough to say the truth. I mean, there are proof of aliens, for lack of a better word, because I don't like calling them extraterrestrials anymore, even because they're most likely ultra-terrestrials to begin with. But there's definitely proof. I've had people on my show who have seen bodies, so I mean, there's definitely proof.
Really? They've seen bodies?
I interviewed someone a while back who was involved in the alien autopsy video in the 90s, the real one, not the fake one that
The real one?
saw.
The one from the 50s?
No, the 90s. There was one that got captured in the late 90s.
Okay.
And there's actually an autopsy video of it, and they actually spoke to, according to what I was told, the creature actually spoke to government officials in English, in New English.
What?
And said what? And said what?
Okay, this is like a year ago, so word for word, this is not going to be a thing. But basically, they're studying us like we always thought. Like they're studying us, because they're worried about what we're going to do, because we're stupid. We're monkeys that were lucky enough to get out of the cave. Anybody who's in the know about this stuff assumes it, and it's true. Like they're just worried about what the hell we're going to do if we ever get to space, or if we ever find out how to go through dimensions to where they are. Like
No, I like that. If we ever get to space, we're trying really hard right now, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, we're still not going back to the moon. That's all I know.
If. Big old if there.
That's really
all I know.
So I do feel like there's just way more credible people speaking about this, but they tiptoe around it still, right? You know, they don't straight out and say.
I think what he was getting at, he's surmising that what we're looking at are governmental projects. Because from his point of view, from the point of view of physics, I think if you listen to the whole snippet from that broadcast or podcast, he doesn't believe that the physics supports people just emerging. And where are they emerging? That is, aliens emerging from somewhere. Where are they emerging from? Is the physics there to support this type of movement through where we don't even know? So if you look at it just empirically, there's something there. We know that there are government programs. We have a report here from AARO saying that a number of UAPs are misidentified as government projects. And then we've got this other group here saying that UFOs are real. So what I'd like to do now, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to do the reveal. Is anybody interested in the reveal?
Let's do it.
Friggin' interested.
Do you feel maybe too like the scientists themselves, they poo-poo, like scientists are supposed to be the most open-minded to, what could be. And it's almost like they're the most closed-minded because it doesn't support what they are already,
where does that grant money come from, right? It's all about where that grant money comes from.
The government, yeah.
It's like they're supposed to be the most believing of anyone. They should have their minds open to, the unknown more than anybody. And they're always, and archaeologists too, they don't like any changes to timelines or anything that disproves
Right.
anything that they've been saying. So I always find that a little interesting.
People like the status quo. People don't like the status quo to change. And
Do we still have scientists? Like,
I,
is that a real
I
thing,
don't.
or do we just have bookworms that collect a paycheck?
I mean, and some scientists, it's their religious beliefs. I had one on my show who swore that UFOs are demons.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay. That's
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't on that show. I wouldn't be able to keep my mouth shut.
I had a hard time not really digging into them, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's
abjectly
it's
idiotic.
Most of the scientists back in the day believed in some sort of alchemy, mysticism,
Right.
spirituality. Like, now, I don't know if you can just believe in evolution, and like, what's the point at that point, right? Like, you live, you die, it's over. I think you need some sort of spark that takes you on if you're really curious.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when you look at where this UAP was taken, the imagery, what I'm doing is I'm showing a video or an image of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is right here, all of this. The UAP was captured around this area.
you might have to zoom in, Mike. It's very
yeah. It's hard.
hard to see.
Thank you, Jeremy. So the UAP was captured right around this area, actually more specifically right here. And here's MacDill. You can kind of see, if you look really closely, you can see the runways. So I thought that was interesting. It's like, okay, well, could this be a UAP from MacDill? Could this be the real thing? So let's see. Let's see what we're looking at. So I'll try to zoom in on some of these. It's not always super clear. This isn't actually the one I wanted. My apologies, guys. You can kind of see it right there, but I've got a much better video. So here it is. Can you see that?
Yep.
I saw something go in the bottom. There it is.
You see that right here? That is the UAP. Now, what I'd like to do is I'm going to come back and look at this.
Nope.
Look at this other object, right?
You lost your feed there.
We lost the screen.
Yeah, I'm switching back to this. Do you see the similarity between the two objects?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Like it's exactly the same object. Granted, the photography is better here because my source is simply a trail cam. And it took this image from quite a distance away. So let's go back and let's look at the other image. Do you see it?
Can you zoom in on it?
Let me see.
Yeah, that's better. Full screen. Yeah.
Let's replay it. Look at this. This makes no sense. Now you could say, oh, that's stupid. That's a bug on the lens. That is not a bug on the lens. That I can tell you that's not a bug on the lens because the proportionality of that would make absolutely no sense that that's a bug on the lens. If you notice how far I had to zoom in to actually make that picture viable for you to actually be able to see it. So it's not a bug on the lens. Furthermore, I have a video. I do have a video of a bug passing through the lens that is passing between the object that we're looking at and the actual camera. So I don't think it's not a bug. It doesn't make any sense to say that it's a bug. Here's another image of it. Look, if you look really closely, you can see lights moving on the lid.
I was going to say, was there a flash or something it looked like?
Yeah, there is. There's some kind of lights going on there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're watching you, watching them.
Yeah, that was really weird, Jeremy, because if you read the report from Genesis 2, actually it was a radio interview or a podcast that was on the Genesis 2 webpage. They talk about one of the technologies that they use to evaluate these images is, infrared technology. Well, this is infrared technology. This trail cam is using infrared technology. Look at that thing. It is very strange.
And so how long did you say it stays there? Like it stays there the whole night till morning, or?
Very interesting question. Again, if you go back to one of the reports that I showed earlier, particularly the one from AARO. Let me come on out of here. If you look at the ARRO report, one of the things it says is they've observed UAPs being motionless in the sky, just fixed in one position, regardless of the wind speed or wind direction. And that's exactly what this thing was. It did not move the entire time. It did not move. It stayed in the exact same spot the whole night. Now, bear in mind, it was not there the day before. It was not there the day after. Why? I mean, that to me is very interesting.
I mean, makes sense. I mean, if you're going to watch a species, watch them at night. Why would you watch them during the day when they could see you?
And Michael, was there anybody else around, like any neighbors or like anybody else that also witnessed it the same night? Have you been able to find her?
No, I haven't. I haven't really explored that option. I mean, I think that's really interesting.
Well, get out there and do it, dude. Start knocking on some damn doors.
I got to start knocking on some doors to find out if anybody else saw this thing.
Maybe that's who was knocking on your door. Was it
Yeah.
I got a text. Somebody said there was something going on in the backyard. This little green men.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about.
It's nothing to see here, people.
That definitely wouldn't send the podcast through the roof, Little Green Men. Yeah. I got to worry about that one.
I have some more videos. Would you like to see more?
You bet.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so people are going to say, because I'm a cynic, so I know what all the cynics say. A cynic is going to say, well, look, that's just something up in a tree, right? Or that's something that's hanging out in a building. So I have evidence to show that it is not any of those things. So let's look at that evidence. This was taken during a period of greater daylight. You can see the sky is pretty well lit. Can you see the image?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the UAP right here. There's no building. There's no tree. You can see the wind is moving some of these trees.
It is staying motionless. For a while there, I did think it was just a firefly, but it is staying pretty motionless.
It's totally motionless. So we can see that it is not an object suspended off something. It's not possible.
It's above the tree line. That's definitely not possible.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh,
Who did
this-
you get? The rat trapper gave you this
yeah,
footage?
yeah.
Okay.
So Scott, I got this one for you. Check this out. People are always talking about this object that they're catching on camera. Look.
Yeah, that's
Very
weird.
strange. And
So
here's
this is
the
a
UAP.
still image.
Yeah. And look, you can, Deborah, there's your light. Look at
Yeah.
that.
That's pretty wild.
Hmm. Yeah, chemtrail wouldn't be lit up.
It looks like one of those things they call a sky snake.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Let's see what we have. Which one is this?
I've never seen one at night though. Have you guys?
I can't say I really looked into them too much, but
That's the.
I was back in like 08.
So there's a bug. So, and here's.
Yeah, did you? Oh, this is super weird. Look at this, guys. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That was the bug.
But what's
Wait a
that? That's not a bug going slow.
Yeah.
Straight.
Let me
Play
zoom
that
in
one all the way through again.
Now look, watch. Look at this object coming up. Look at this.
I see
Look
it.
at this.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's not flashing. There's no light pattern. But I also want to point out something. Look at my cursor. You see my cursor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Watch this. Here we go.
Yeah, they're like a loop-de-loop. Oh, what happened?
It's only a 15-second video. So this light, this burning light comes up from the lower left to the upper right. And in the meantime, this other object comes shooting down toward it from the direction of the UAP.
The alien kids got their hands in the keys
So
to the
is it
spaceship again.
Two objects fighting? Like was one?
Yeah, it's weird, right? So I'm going to pause it when we have all three objects. Look, here's the UAP.
Yeah.
Here is this thing. I don't think it's a helicopter with a searchlight, because I think given that it's like 90% humidity on this day, you would see the beam lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it was shined directly at us. But I don't know. I don't think so, because we're not seeing any light pattern. And then this object, which is going in the opposite.
To the tree.
Yeah,
like whatever floodlight you got going to the tree seems to be the only light on that tree in the distance.
Exactly. And this can't be a bug because it's flying in a directly straight line. Watch. Directly straight line. It makes no sense at all.
Interesting.
Here we go. It's coming up. And then this thing shoots down toward it.
I think the one that shot down, I would say bug on that one, but the other one's behind the tree line.
And so, Michael, where this bright thing came down, like came out of from the ground, what's there? Is that water there? Is that trees? Like, what was it coming out of?
That's a great question. Let's see. Let me see if I can get back and show that. So here's Tampa Bay again. Mm-hmm. That object was captured right where my cursor is. Yeah. So
towards the water?
We're kind of facing this way, Scott, if you track my cursor. Kind of facing north.
You got the airport way off on that little like ridge in the bay there. Yeah.
And the Tampa airport is up here. So it's coming from this direction. I don't know. It's very strange. That to me was really surprising, because I'm looking through these images and didn't make any sense. Like, what is this? What is this thing? Let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, again, you can see it. It's up here. Now look, what I want to show you here. See that flashing light where my cursor is?
Yeah.
That is air traffic. That is the air traffic vector. Right? There it is. Just watch that flashing. That's the air traffic vector. Not coming up out from behind the tree. So that other thing was not following the, and I have a bunch of videos.
And it's not moving even as the plane is
Yeah.
going towards it, right? Like it just stays.
It just stays there. Oops.
Huh.
And let's see, I really did want to show you the one where the bug flies in between. Oh, this is it. Ah, there it goes. Watch. All right, guys, hold on. A bug is going to fly right in front of this thing. So between the camera and the UAP, you're going to see a bug fly. You see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it definitely doesn't move, doesn't. It's, yeah.
And what's weird, did you notice that change in brightness?
Yeah, I did.
Look at that.
Hmm.
What is that? Why
maybe
the
it's-
change in brightness when it... Do you see that?
So it's
With
got
the
a
light-
beam or it's got a something that catches movement in front of it or something. Like motion activated. Spyware
it's weird.
plus. So how did you get a hold of this? Like the rat trap guy is a friend of yours or?
Yes, it's a mysterious situation. I was sent the video with the promise of not revealing identities.
Okay.
I like it.
See, that's
I got 3 trail cams up right now. Well, to be honest with you, if I don't see people stealing shit, I don't check that hard.
The other thing I thought is, okay, maybe this is lens flare from this weatherhead. It's not lens flare from the weatherhead. The geometry makes no sense. Then I thought, could it be lens flare from this cap down here? But that doesn't make sense either, because when you look at the structure of this object in the sky, it doesn't match any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, why has the guy got the trail cam up there? Is that just to prove to potential customers that they need to pay him to get rid of the rats?
Yes, because the whole idea is, I think
They
the
don't
idea
think they have rats.
you got to put a rat barrier on these power lines, because unless you can keep the rats off the roof, you really can't keep them out of the house.
You know what you guys should do?
Shotgun?
You should do no. You put these cameras up there and say, actually, the problem's a lot worse than I thought.
It is
not rats, it's demons, and we're gonna have to exercise your house, and that's gonna cost just a little bit more than getting rid of the rats.
We got demons, people. This is a very serious situation.
Very serious and very costly.
Very costly. Guys, what do you think? Am I full of shit? What is this?
Well, it's pretty wild. I think you should take it. Like, I don't know where you submit.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
Goes
submit it to
get them
anybody.
authenticated, but I think it's
MoveOn.
MoveOn,
Move
yes.
on.
I was thinking about sending it to MoveOn because I originally contacted them about this, and I said I want to do a live podcast where I reveal this, and they said we're not doing a live podcast. So I guess I got to send them the tape.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd just be worried somebody's gonna steal your shit, right?
You know, I put it out there for people to look at.
That's
I
probably
think
doing it this way is it's out there and you know it's your video, so now it's yours.
Right. What do you guys
think I have the good idea. I think you tell them it's demons.
Demons.
And you cash in on the demon exorcisms.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Catholic Church has been making money off it for years. Why not start yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I need to do that mail away Doctor of Divinity thing. So You know about that?
What was that resort we were talking about in the cult thing that looked so nice, but it was some crazy cult, but it looked like a beautiful spa. Remember?
Yeah,
Go get
I
go get
kind of remember that.
Mm.
yeah. Let me see. I got to find out how much does it cost to get a Doctor of Divinity.
Dude, come on. Just tell them the Catholic Church is full of crap,
I think
and you
it's
were trained by the best.
yeah,
I think it's $2,000. That
2,000.
was one of my episodes one time. How they were charging like $1,800, and you too can become a demon exorcism person.
Jeez.
Well, you know, the really cool thing, guys, is all these really fancy things they have in churches and cathedrals, the vestments, the candles, the candelabras, the incense. You can buy those all in catalogs now.
Hmm.
So why do I need to pay for the DDO? I can just go buy the accoutrements.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking, dude. I bought myself a rosary.
Nice.
I honestly think the thing's more cursed than anything, though. Every time I'm watching horror movies, like, shit, I might be like drawing them in.
Deborah, what do you think? Was that real or fake?
I mean, it doesn't move. It really doesn't move. And
Yeah,
I
that's
I feel, you know what, I want to believe in aliens, so I do believe in them. Like it can't be just us. Come on. And like I said, more and more and more people are taking it seriously and looking at it like it's legit. Is some of it the government with, projects they're not telling us about? Sure. But
yeah.
is it all that? I don't think so. I think it's both happening.
I mean, Deborah, I 100% think you can honestly say paranormal's the new normal, and that's my drop for my advertising right there.
Yeah. Well, guys, check out my YouTube video. It's only 10 minutes long. Let me know what you think. I'd like to get your feedback. It's under Dark Lens Diaries. I sent you all the link.
One of the links, I'm not going to lie, Michael, one of the links you sent me, I was like, man, this pretty much reads gohackme.com. But I tried to. Yeah, you had this like
URL,
fucking paragraph of X's and ones and all this crazy shit. It's like some shit Jeremy would try to send me, and I was running it.
I don't send anything.
I am gonna check out the YouTube channel. I did see the YouTube channel link. I meant to check it out. I just ran out of time.
Just, before you click on any links I send, make sure you turn on JavaScript.
Well, I think this was pretty wild. I think that was, oh dear, now what are you getting into? The only
dude,
you've been doing that.
My mom kept the book I gave her. Well, I let her borrow it, but I bought a new one. I would love to know your guy, like where exactly you were born at, specifically what time, and like the month, the date. We'll get your star sign, your moon sign, your sun sign. I'm telling you, this book tells us we are in a simulation.
Really?
100%. 100%.
I've had astrology people on. It's fucking, and I've had readings done from them. Like, it's fucking eerily accurate. It's creepy as shit.
I would love, Scott.
It's an algorithm.
I'll give you all my info. I would love to have. I've had that done before. I think it's so interesting how you're right. Like, it's spot on. A lot of it. It's really.
And this shit, like, I don't think you can predict the future at all with this. But like for counseling, it would probably be an awesome fucking tool. I do think it proves we're in a goddamn simulation, though.
How so? Can you go deeper into that?
Well, like, let's say you were making a bunch of non-player characters like us, right? Like, you can't create an infinite amount. So, like, sun signs and star signs and the moon signs all compile into a specific type of person, but they overlap with each other, too. And, like, I read my entire family with this shit. How the fuck would you be able to prove that it's not true, like, if it seems mathematically correct? That's where I get into the simulation. Like, I don't I mean, simulation, right? We got a creator in the fourth dimension. God, whatever you want to call it, something created us. And they had a fucking handbook, dude. They had a goddamn handbook.
Astrology does nail down personalities of people 100%. So, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's creepy. It's creepy. I literally
it's not creepy. I think it overlays your personality, though, Jeremy. You're exactly right. Like, it lays out personality traits and stuff. But then I think we also have free will and experiences that we have free will and we can change. Like, so it's not fated. You know what I mean? We can always, move about to make moves on our own to change things up. But personality-wise,
How does it
absolutely.
tie into tarot? How does astrology tie into tarot?
No. Tarot falls into followers, my friend. Followers, well, I'm in orange status.
There you go. The Machiavelli.
I can read the cards. I'm reading the cards. This is like a goddamn user's manual, and it's crazy how spot on that shit is, dude.
Wow.
I don't think you can read the future. Like, am I going to break up with my boyfriend next month? I don't think that shit ain't. That ain't coming out of that
Scott,
book. But
Scott, does your wife know you're going to break up with your boyfriend?
Does what?
I said, does your wife know you're going to break up with your boyfriend?
Absolutely. She's the one that was.
She told him
me to.
Get rid of him or me.
That's how it went. And if I broke up a couple of marriages, I'm sorry. Cards say what they do for entertainment purposes only.
Oh no. Oh dear.
So, Debra, you had some pictures that you posted. Did you want to look at that?
Oh no, it's okay. I wasn't sure what we were all doing, so I just found a picture of the most commonly. Well, I guess we could look the picture.
Look at them.
Let's see, because that's the most commonly, and it shows you how many reports have picked that shape or whatever.
What I did see, though, is that our man-shaped object is not represented in your list. That was weird.
Working on it. Hold on.
But I've never seen a UAP shaped like a person, like Scott said, somebody with a jetpack.
But does it also make sense that they'd be changing and evolving what they're flying around in? Just like we do, right?
I guess it could
Hey, there's our moon.
I like the disc. That's the classic little green man ship.
Yeah.
I mean, orbs.
Where's the cigar-shaped object too? Like, isn't the cigar-shaped one super common?
They kind of,
one, right?
Yeah, that's a Tic Tac one, but they kind of have fallen off in recent years.
Oh, her little thing's got the cigar one there.
Yeah. I mean, the egg one's the one that interests me the most, because it's like,
why is that?
What if it is an actual egg? Like,
oh no. That's what's going into the ocean, and they're gonna hatch and all come crawling out, and then we're in trouble.
Cthulhu will rise.
That's funny.
In Scott's neck of the woods, most likely.
Oh yeah, my neck of the woods.
I feel like
Michael's the one living in Florida now.
Yeah. Oh, that skunk ape is calling us, Scott. We need to go find him. Quick.
I know. I'm waiting.
I mean, according to what I've been told recently I had these great guests on, Leslie and Stephen Shaw. They're UFO researchers, and they research everything. But Stephen's a third-generation abductee. And
what?
Whoa, hold up. What the hell does that mean? His grandfather was abducted?
His grandfather, people in his family have been abducted for three generations. They all revealed it eventually as like it became like a thing. Like originally they didn't talk about it, but as he got into it and did his research, he started asking his family members, and they were all seeing the same things. He's had visitors in his room at night. To this day, he can he can scribe, like blind scribe or spirit scribe, I think it's called. Like literally, like he just kind of meditates and like he'll start writing.
Yeah.
He believes it's alien telepathy, but
What?
and but his wife really does a lot of research on Bigfoot and stuff too. And according to what she told me, there was actually just recently there's a female scientist in California, and she was testing this lake or pond or some body of water in the mountains to see like what samples of urine she could pull out of the water. And
How
you
does
know,
it always go back to Bigfoot porn with Jeremy? Every time, Bigfoot porn.
Bigfoot golden showers, Scott. Bigfoot golden showers. But no, she apparently the scientists like she got all the ones you'd expect in a California mountain area, but there's a primate urine that she can't identify with any known species in California.
Oh.
So, and the same scientist also has hair samples that have come back as inconclusive to anything we know exist. So she apparently there might be news coming down the road eventually in the next couple of years about things, but
well, there you go, Jeremy. Ticks be damned. Get in there. That's like you love Bigfoot. Go get him. You know the area.
He doesn't like the woods, though.
If there was 100% chance of seeing something, then I would. But I'm not taking no fucking 70-30 chance of seeing something. Like it's not gonna happen. Like, and
dude, you gotta start placing the trail cams. You start placing the trail cams, you'll find them.
I mean, you also don't see Bigfoot unless they want you to see them. That's the thing. That's what more and more people are believing nowadays is you don't see them unless they want you to see them, because they will not reveal themselves to just everybody.
So segue that to the aliens. Is that the same thing? Are we starting to see the ships and starting to see all of this because they want us to? They're about to integrate into society. It's going to become really normal thing, or?
Okay, as the guy in the Joe Rogan show famously said, they're already here. They've been here, but it's. I mean, people have been seeing them since the freaking 40s, 50s, ancient times. Like we talked about it on the show 1,000 times. Like it's been proven. Like people have seen them since the beginning of time. There's Socrates, I think it was, or Plato. One of them had something in their book about like seeing something in the sky they couldn't explain that looked like a ship of some kind. Or
but don't you feel like it's I don't know how to say it, but like more and more common and more acceptable? And like, do you think there's going to be a time where we just openly walk down the street and you're like, "Hey, Mr. Alien guy, how are you doing?"
I mean, I think it's not that we're seeing them more. I think people are less scared to talk about it now than they used to be.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
you're not going to be labeled nut job or insane nowadays if you say you saw a UFO. 50 years ago, yeah, you'd probably be put in a freaking mental institution.
How close do you guys think we are to Project Bluebeam? I mean, that's the overall goal with the government, I would think. All these chemtrails didn't get popped up in there for no reason.
I keep hearing 2027 is gonna be a big year. I don't know why, but it's what psychics and mediums keep telling me.
I keep hearing 2025 is going to be a crazy year. I don't know if that's for the paranormal, but like, getting weird, dude. Getting weird this year.
I think that's Project 25, but
no, dude, that's.
What do you guys think about? Have you followed any of this missing 411 stuff?
Oh, yeah. I've talked about it on this show immensely.
Yeah. Do you think that has anything to do with Bigfoot? Are they basically Bigfoot fodder? All these missing people in the woods?
Bigfoot?
I think it's like people being human trafficked. To be honest with you,
you think
that's a theory. That's one of the main theories is that people being human trafficked.
Being stolen by governments for test subjects.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. That's another one of the theories. But I mean.
Yeah, it is. They want more walnuts in the jacuzzi next time. That's definitely one of the.
But I mean, theories. I keep saying, there's that map of all these missing 401 cases over all. It's over all the cave systems.
Yeah, so you think people are falling into the ground?
No, not even. I think
live in the caves.
I think there's a lot of things in those caves that humans either don't know exist or that we forgot they exist.
Okay.
And I mean, I would say Bigfoot is less likely because Bigfoots are usually not too violent, but unless they have to be. But I mean,
Not in Jeremy's videos.
I would say dogmen maybe because there are one species of dogmen that are violent and not just territorial. I would say those pale crawler things are definitely coming from somewhere, and caves are a likely place. So, I mean, there's a lot of different cryptids that are all. I mean, and no, Scott, not Frogman, but there's a lot of different cryptids that can use those caves. And I mean, I've even heard in Pennsylvania of dragons living in mines, and these mines go deep, like into the cave
if we're
systems.
gonna go this crazy, what do you think is there? Because it would make sense in cave systems and like that. That's where portals to other dimensions would be. That's how these things are moving around. Could some of these people just they manage to get through the portal to a different dimension and they're just gone from here?
It's possible. Actually, I was interviewing this monk about 2 months ago. The episode hasn't released in podcast form yet, but the video interview's out there. But I'm actually interviewing one of his associates in a couple months, and I think the guy I'm interviewing is the one I'm about to tell a story about. But he told a story about one of his fellow monks who was in the Himalayas. He was walking through the Himalayas. He pretty much thought he was going to die because he was lost. He ran out of food. He was basically going to freeze to death pretty soon. He fell into a crevice in the ground, and when he came to, it was like a jungle. It was like a very tropical jungle, and he saw these. He didn't really get a good look, but he saw these creatures running around, and I mean, as soon as he said Himalayas, I was like, "Are you telling me you just actually gave me proof that Yetis exist?" And he's like, I don't know what he saw, but he's like, he saw something, and when he finally got back out of that crevice, he thought he was only gone for a couple hours. It was like 5 months.
Holy smokes!
And this is a monk, so if I'm going to believe anybody, I'm going to believe a monk because they're usually the type of people that don't lie. It's not like they're a Catholic priest. Like monks usually don't lie. So, I mean, I'm hoping that is the guy that's coming to my show next month because I really really want to interview him if it is. But either way, it's gonna be it'll be. But
I mean, if you look at some of those huge caves in China, they have whole ecosystems down in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never checked that out. I gotta check that out.
I mean, yeah,
I know the East Coast has a lot.
There's literally caves in China where it's a whole separate ecosystem, and there's animals that they discovered in them that they never knew existed, bears and stuff like that. We never knew that species existed.
That's wild.
It's basically like a land of the lost type thing almost.
Without the slee stacks. Well, maybe it is the slee stacks.
I mean,
you guys don't remember that show?
Oh, I watched that show on Nickelodeon all the time when I was a kid. Reruns of it. That show's amazing. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys all know I'm a huge proponent of the Hollow Earth theory. So
I'm down with that. I really want that to be the thing.
I mean, Hollow Earth, Hollow Moon.
It makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways.
A lot more than Flat Earth. It does. It makes a lot more sense than Flat Earth, man.
I hate on Flat Earth on my show so much. It's not even funny.
Well, I was on the biggest Flat Earth podcast in the world. Oh yeah.
And I'm sure. And I'm sure if they could find you, they would be pissed at you.
Oh, George and I are buddies. We email. It happens.
Well, man, that's a good find, Michael. I'm impressed you have that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for taking the time to entertain the idea. I think it's interesting, if nothing else.
So what do you believe? Do you because you're always saying you're a skeptic, and there you are with the proof. So
I know, losing one more skeptic. What the hell?
I don't think it can be readily explained. I think that object shooting up from the lower part of the screen, and then the object shooting in the other direction, and that UAP just sitting there. I think it's interesting. I was amazed.
I mean, I see stuff like that in my backyard all the freaking time, but
Right?
I'm just like, yep, that's just. I'm like,
You
let's just
live in
present.
a low light pollution area, right?
Yeah, I live like in the woods basically, but
So
and
you
I
should
mean,
put trail cams up on your roof and see what you see.
I mean, I also notice that when I see things, my dogs are both staring at the sky.
Wow.
Rather than sniffing the ground, they're staring at the sky.
Hmm.
So
Oh, wow.
it's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
and we I don't know. We had oh yeah, you guys don't even know about this because we weren't doing the show at this point, but we had a bear
Been a
attack on our
while.
chicken. Yeah, it's been 4 months, but I looked at I went back to see how long it was today just to see when the last time we did a show was. But yeah, I think it was like March 4th or something like that. But we had a bear attack on our chicken coop a month or two ago.
A bear?
We lost. We lost like 6 hens and our rooster.
Oh,
But but it's funny because our security cameras in the backyard, it was pitch black in our backyard, and I mean we didn't have any of the lights on or anything. So, but I mean it looked like there was 4 or 5 bluish brownish glowing things like in the middle of my backyard.
Wow.
And like we're like that can't be the bears. Why would they be glowing? Like their eyes maybe, but not their whole bodies. I mean, because it ended up being like a mother and cubs, because there's all different scratch marks on the coop door still, and people were reporting like get out over the town page the next day, seeing them like their chicken coops or their bird feeders got attacked like over the next couple days too.
So, but where did you see the bluish glowing things? Like in person, or these spots?
In my backyard on security cam footage.
Oh my gosh! You should put that up. Do you have it?
I'd have to find it. I could find probably that when was that? That was fucking back in May, I think.
You got Jeremy Walker Ranch going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not the I'm not the biggest I'm not the biggest fan of going in my backyard at night for reasons, but it could be.
You gotta get out more, Jeremy. You gotta get out more, dude.
He does too many of these shows.
In your house.
I am barely ever home.
And he lives in the woods. Like, go out in your backyard, man.
I've walked through my woods multiple times. Thank you. My daughter likes my daughter likes to explore, so I have to go with her a lot of times. And this is back before it got fully grown in for the summer. Because once it's fully grown in, I ain't going back there. Fucking snakes and ticks and everything else.
When's your baby due?
Right around Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's a cool fucking. That'd be a cool birthday, dude.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay, cool.
Pumpkin pie birthday cake.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be silent for a second.
Okay.
I just found it. So I just found it, but I gotta send it to myself now.
Sweet. Okay, we get to see some more. Look at this, all this evidence we have.
Good evidence.
Open Messenger, download.
Maybe we should do this every 4 months. Come back and do a show. See what we can all bring.
Yeah, collecting evidence.
I don't know. I've yet. I mean, I would say we need to do a bracket at some point, but I still haven't wanted to release the freaking last one we did. It's coming soon. It's coming soon, but I'm still pissed off at who won it. But all right, there we go. But yeah, that's what it was.
That's weird. Is the sky always that color? What is that about?
No, the sky is not always that color either. That was the other weird part.
That looks like a picture. Like it's really pretty.
Like you could literally see that it's playback from our security cams, but But I mean, and that
almost looks like the disc lights right
and
there. Like it's reflecting
that
down.
it was literally at 3 o'clock in the morning, the witching hour.
Like that's so weird. Doesn't that look like it's a dome-shaped thing shining down?
I mean, the sky here gets strange colors sometimes, but not like that usually. But sometimes if you go out in the woods here, like if you go outside, like if my dogs make me go outside like at 4 or 5 in the morning, it's eerily light out at that time in the morning. And I'm like, since when has it ever been since when's it ever been that light out, like at 4 or 5 in the morning?
Oh, that's pretty wild. Huh.
But I want Scott to see this.
I was kind of looking. You
Oh.
couldn't see me looking.
Mm.
Yeah, that's super cool.
You have a nice backyard.
What kind of, when you play the motion, what do you see? I mean,
I don't have the video. My wife never saved me the video. She just screenshotted what she saw to me.
oh,
But
interesting.
I mean, do I still have that up or it was? Of course not.
Cool.
And that's, I mean, but did we have another one? I forget if there was another one. God, that was a long time ago. But
Yeah, interesting.
I heard Debra talking about the next episode. What's the next episode?
I said every 4 months we should do a show and come and figure out, collect evidence and come back armed with all these pictures and stuff.
You know
I'm
what?
bringing the mud flood.
Is that your backyard? What do you have going on back there?
Me?
Yeah.
I live in a storage complex.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my house is built on a. There's my billboard.
Huh. No, Debra, there's a program.
I'm going to be doing lives with ghost stories.
Oh, yeah, I went in on that.
Sweet.
There is a program.
What program?
They're distributing cameras around the world. So, for example, she asked, did anybody else see this UAP? So what they're trying to do is collaborate or corroborate the data that they're collecting from these cameras placed all over the place for UAPs.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing it exactly?
I got to look that up, Scott. I've heard about it, but I don't know a lot about it. But it seems interesting.
So if you say, do you have to submit what you found and then they see if anybody else has submitted that too?
I think they have a standard camera set that they're sending around to people. I'll have to look it up. Maybe for our next show.
Is it a trail cam or what?
You know, I think it's like one of those Raspberry Pi things, super cheap, small, durable. I need to look. I need to research more of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I actually do have a second pick from that night.
Oh, cool.
So, Michael, you said you were down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tomorrow is my first day. I got you hooked up to the workbench.
You have me hooked up to what?
You got TikTok, right?
What?
I got a little rig here for work tomorrow.
This is the weird thing, because in this one, it looks like they actually could be the bears.
Oh, I see.
Can you bring that closer? Can you zoom in a bit?
I'm trying to.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what's weird, Jeremy? If you look up in the trees, you see that some of that color showing up too.
The red, yeah, and it's all red.
I mean, this over here, that's where the chickens are. I think. Yeah, that's the shed. Yeah, that's where the chickens are. Is over here on this one, but
that little outbuilding on the side scaring me a little bit. It's like from The Witch.
I mean, but yeah, the sky being that color is definitely a freaking weird thing, especially like there's nothing going on that time of the year where the sky would be that color.
Well, and there's a little bit of red up by the tree, and then if you look, the sign's in front of it now, but there's a little bit of red up in the sky to the right.
And I mean, like it says, that's 3:02 in the morning, so that's the hour where weird shit happens.
Yeah, weird.
Jeez. I think you have an interesting yard to put a bunch of cameras up in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, if the viewers want me to do that, they can invest in better quality grade cameras for my backyard. But
I know they're expensive.
I know, right? These freaking
I have,
Wise cameras aren't the greatest, but they actually do good during the daytime. But
yeah. I got mine courtesy of Tadacam because I did some videos for those guys. Yeah, this is good stuff, guys. Excellent.
definitely,
Yeah.
we should.
Oh, it's fascinating to see some stuff that you found yourselves. Like, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that until I was just trying to think of something that happened recently. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, I did have that creepy ass pictures in the backyard. I forgot about those, but it's fun.
Did you have anything paranormal, Debra? I have not really thought about the subject since we stopped, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't have any pictures or UFO sightings or anything like that for sure. And as far as I've said this before, but I read tarot all the time, and as far as spirits and stuff go, that's normal. I haven't had anything scary or whatever. If you talk about ghost stories, I can talk all day long about that kind of stuff, but nothing scary and nothing out of the ordinary for me. And definitely,
that's a good thing.
Photos of stuff to show you. So, but
I mean,
once you get some cameras and go outside and see what I find, I have a telescope that you can hook your camera up to. So who knows? Who knows what I'll find?
Yeah, just let that thing record all night, and then go back through the footage for.
That's what you got to do.
Is
set it and forget it, and then see what shows up.
Yeah,
the going through the footage part is the part that's going to kick your ass.
Boring. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, trust me. There's a reason I don't listen to my podcast again before I release them. I'm not sitting there for an hour listening to my podcast for a second time. I was already there the first time. I know what happened, but it's just some of our episodes we actually went through and edited every little and and silenced out. It'd be probably 2 hours at least 2 hours worth of work. So
yeah, fuck yeah, dude. It takes me 2.5 to 3.5 hours to make a 40-second video. Fucking nuts. I've been treating this shit like a second-time job, and I've only made $35-ish off of it.
I've made a few $100s off my fucking podcast, dude, just having guests on.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Well, that's cool.
Hey, I can send you an affiliate link for a site I use. If you want to sign up, you get paid to have guests on.
It is a lot of work editing all the stuff. That's why I wanted to do writer kind of podcast. Oh my gosh, no, I already have a full-time job. There's no way.
Dude, just do it. Do it. I got two full-time jobs. Just fucking do it. What do you think? Okay, this is a good end of topic question. Have you guys seen Elon Musk's new robot and all the AI shit that's going on?
Well, I saw something about them growing skin on this kind of rack thing. It's going to have actual living skin. Oh.
I did a video on that. Yeah, that's like Terminator shit. But fucking Tesla is coming out with a robot that's going to be 20,000 USD. That is a third of the average fucking yearly income of people. We are so effed in the future. So you need to go out and find your 1,000 people that'll pay you. Start writing.
Well, I prefer to go do the jobs because so far they're stealing all the art and all the fun stuff. So it's good if we get to work and we get to do the art and the writing and everything. Then
they are coming up on stealing those errands so fucking quick. But at least if they know you're a real person, all you need is 1,000.
And
1,000 true fans.
Scott, it's funny because. It's funny you mentioned that because I actually have been playing around with the idea of writing a book. I've been talking to guests on my podcast about it, and they all keep saying you're going to. I had a medium straight tell me, she's like, "Oh, you're going to write the book. I already know what's going to happen." She's like,
"How many people have you talked to? You've talked to hundreds of people, Write the
Uh,
fucking
I
book, dude.
yeah, I mean it's going to be an evolving book. I think I'm going to rewrite it every 5 years with as my theories on the world expand.
Sweet.
Yeah, cool.
I think people
Great.
would. I think it's going to be so fucking absurd. People are going to want to read it.
Well, because you've talked to so many different people, like all types and sizes and shapes and ideas. So
And you've
Yeah.
talked to some crazy ass people
Right?
too.
Yeah.
So like,
Not
fucking
us.
write that book, dude. Somebody will read it for sure. Do it.
Yeah, I mean I already have the marketing platform to get it the fuck out there. So I mean, yeah,
It's all that
just
matters. It's all that matters. Just do it.
yeah. I might start doing it at work in my little bit of spare time, but. Because I'm barely ever home anymore, so I don't really have time to sit at home and write shit. But we'll see.
Well, guys,
It's
this has been cool. I've missed you guys. This has been really fun. So just got to say that.
I've had people ask when's Global Strangers coming back. Like I've had people, and not just one creepy fuck. I've had other people ask me that too.
We're back.
We're back.
Last time I tried to do a bracket with Jeremy, he shot me down. So
When the fuck was that?
still waiting for the goddamn invite, but
yeah. Well, no, because the last time you got back to me,
yeah. You got back to me 5 minutes later. Yeah.
Dude,
It's
I would
5 minutes, fuckhead.
I would have messaged
too late.
I would have messaged you last fucking night because we needed 7th last night. We ended up doing a coin flip thing, but
You're in TikTok jail. You're in Jeremy jail. You're just in all
Yeah.
kinds of jail.
That's in everybody's jail. Everybody's jail. Michael,
Yes.
are you have TikTok?
No, I never played with TikTok. Honestly.
Well, you're gonna download it tonight, and you will be my first guest for Spooky Story Hour tomorrow at work.
Okay, so what do I need to do? I haven't downloaded TikTok. It's just like every other social platform.
yeah, just make an account.
Download it tonight, and then message me, and I'll send you a friend request, and I'll text you before. But I'm gonna start doing ghost stories when I'm at work, because I'm tired of fucking reading tarot cards. But for the next 80 days, it's Tarot Tuesday, and then the rest of the time at work, I'm just gonna have people tell ghost stories.
Nice.
That's right, folks. Every Tuesday at the local strip club, you'll see Scott reading tarot cards in the corner.
Curbside Chronicles.
Nice. I'm in. I'm looking at TikTok right now to log in. Cool.
Yeah, download it. I'll send you my link, and then I'll fucking get with you right before, because got to wake up tomorrow a little hungover. I don't know when I'm going to start it. Bop. We'll do it.
Yeah, I got TikTok. I don't play with it too much.
The invites are for all three of you. Who wants to tell their ghost story first?
I
don't really have ghost stories, but I have a possessed house. I don't really have ghost stories though.
Oh, that's a good story. I'd like to hear that.
It's not really that interesting, but yeah. Trust me, I tell it on my show all the fucking time to people, and it's not that interesting. It's just I wouldn't even believe it is really possessed if I didn't have so many fucking people on my show tell me that they could sense it and that they see things behind me. But
holy shit, what the fuck is that behind you?
that's a reflection in the window, but that was more in the garage. In the garage, there was always something behind me, apparently.
Oh, that's weird.
We can never tell where Michael is since the day he started.
Yes, I'm in the ruins of some palace in the desert.
Yeah, well,
ain't gonna be able to do that. Well, maybe you will be able to do that on TikTok. I'm not. I haven't gotten that far advanced yet.
We'll figure it out.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, that's Global Strangeness.
Thanks,
as I said, the long-awaited return of Global Strangeness, because people have asked me when the hell's it coming back. So
we're back.
Hell yeah. Poltergeist.
Thanks for listening to my spiel. I appreciate it.
It was cool, man. I thought it was fireflies at first, but you did show some Shows some weird shit going on there. A lot of
Awesome.
straight lines.
Well, you guys, that's a wrap. Have an excellent evening. It's been a slice being back for the first time, back in the saddle.
Thank you.
Yep. 4
Sorry,
months later.
Debra was wasted.